wonderful friend, co-host, and co-healer, Gretchen Comer. This week, we're going to continue our explorations of the spiritual significance of the times of the year with the theme of opening to the brightness of June. It is, we were just talking about it, and I think Gretchen will have more on that. I was reflecting on this yesterday, and I really feel that focusing on the specifics of the season we're in, and even narrowing it down to the specific months we're in, gives us an opportunity to connect more with that richness of the flow of life. And it goes, I wanted to get out that quote from the Bible again, to everything there is a season, because we're part of that too. It's not like nature is just going through these different flows through the year. We're going through them internally too. So it's pretty profound when we explore it from that perspective. So we're going to look at what this means in relation to the soul's journey. And I think the gifts here, summer is coming, we have gifts to offer. And we'll start about discussing what all of this means. We're going to do an oracle reading. We have an angel already who has been invited to join us, an archangel, and we'll just see what emerges. It's always, I think that's one of the things I love about the circle. It's something, it's a happening kind of. So as always, I'd like to thank you for joining us. I need to get back to Restream so I can see if anybody's here. I want to thank you for joining us and being emissaries of love and light for the world. It's special. Doing that is a special thing, and it's much needed. The circle is here as an opportunity for all of us to light up the world and light up our own lives, to heal, to grow, to experience life to the fullest. And of course, when we go into things like what's happening this month for us, that allows us to view where we are in our own growth and in our own lives in a very unified way with what's happening all around us. So I'm excited. One more thing is just taking that, as we do always, just taking a few deep breaths with the intention of coming together. I see Nikki's here. Hi, Nikki and Babs. Wonderful to see both of you. Thank you for joining us. And so now we're going to take those nice breaths. We can just invite in love and light from the universe around us as we take a few nice breaths, releasing with the exhale any tension we might feel, and taking this opportunity to become more present in our bodies in this moment. That feels good. So with that, I'd like to turn to you, Gretchen, and ask you if you'd like to share a bit about your perspective on this season and the month of June.
Sure. Thank you, Jane. So what's interesting about the month of June for me is, we're leading into summer later this month. And so we're kind of in that transition point right now. And I feel like that's a good time to kind of look at those things that are transitioning in our life. It's a good time for reflection. And for a lot of us who are in temperate states in the US or along this line, we generally have a milder summer beginning, so the beginning of June is not really hot yet for a lot of us. And so it's a really good time to be in your garden and be connected and really enjoy being out in the sunlight, because summer solstice, usually around the 20th or 21st of June, sometimes even the 22nd, is a great time for that influx of energy. It's when the sun is at its zenith or its strongest point. And from that point on, actually, that we start to lose a little bit of sunlight time as the days go on. And so for a lot of people, I think it is a time of intensity too. So for me, it's a great time to kind of do some grounding activities, like being outdoors, like being in the garden. So not only are you able to be out in that bright sunlight, which is just so beautiful this time of year, and that warmth, but it's also you're in nature, so that you're getting kind of both senses. You're having that strong energy coming in through the sun, but you're also getting grounded and stabilized. So it is for me also a time of balance in this transition time. Um, Typically, summer, as we get to summer, it is associated with the element of fire. And so that energy, we've been talking a lot about that in the circles of love and light. We've been talking about Saint Germain's flame, and we've been talking about the different ascended masters and the angels that work with fire. And the this is a good time of year to let go of things as well. So you're able to kind of burn away those things that are no longer serving you in preparation for this kind of full joyous time that it is for summer for a lot of people. You know, everything's very green and things are blooming and the animals are very active, and it just feels like a vibrant time to be alive in the month of June
Yeah.
before, before a lot of us get a lot of that heat of summer coming in.
Right.
Right. So, so for me, it's like a sunny month. It's a month of sunshine. And with that are all those beautiful positive energies of joy and happiness and contentment. And
Mm-hmm.
so if we can make this transition from late spring into summer and use some of that fire energy that's coming in just to really help us let go of whatever we're holding on to that we don't need anymore, can really help us transition and follow along the lines of those natural rhythms you were speaking to at the beginning. If we can stay within those natural rhythms, life flows much easier. We're not like fighting against the tide of
Right.
life,
Right.
we're flowing with it. And so it's just a lot of times we naturally gravitate towards those things. In the summertime, where do we want to be?
You're
We
right.
want to be
Yeah.
outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Yeah.
lot of times we are following it naturally, but if we can just tune in a little bit to those energies, we can use them even more to our benefit. And I
Mm-hmm.
just love this time of year. It's such a wonderful, bright, sunshiny time of year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I see Lula is here. Welcome, Lula. And David Brown was here, I think, for a moment. He said, "Nice to see and hear you. I was up very late, so I need to go back to sleep, but I'll catch you later."
We
I can
appreciate that.
understand that. Right. Yeah. I was telling Gretchen earlier, I don't think I've mentioned it in the circle, but a while back I was exploring the elemental realms more, and Philip and I went out into our yard and we asked the elemental realms to create a sacred space for us within the perimeters of the yard we have, which is not large, but it is ours for now. And when we did that, a gnome came, and his name is George, and he's an earth element being. Also, he's a gnome of higher awareness. They like angels and humans, in all of the realms. They start with just very small chores, like maybe one flower or one bush or something, and then they work up to a larger awareness and ability to be responsible for larger things. So George came in response to our request to create this sacred space, which I really feel it. I keep looking out because the window's right there, and our yard is there, and it just is so precious to me. Anyhow, so I was thinking about today and this morning, and George came to me, and he said some things that I thought were very profound, and actually reflection of what you were just saying, Gretchen. He said June is the magical time when spring's potential turns into summer's glory. Mm-hmm. And he said this is occurring both around us and within us. So we have spring's potential, as Gretchen was saying. We are beings who are living in the seasons. We have that potential in it. So it is June for us internally is the magical time when our soul's potential turns into our soul's glory. So we can look at that, and it's not, it doesn't have to be anything big like I'm, this glorious being. It is what gift to the world is emerging within you now. It's something to think about. And this is a time that is conducive to allowing that to actually come more into being for you. As the flowers are blooming, and the fruits are starting to grow and all of those things are happening. It's not by accident that it's happening within us too. So I just think it's so profound. Um, Sharon Williamson is here too. Hi, Sharon. And she says, "Good morning, George. I love it." Yeah. You just never know what's going to happen.
Right. I think it's a really beautiful example too of we may not think on that level with the earth elementals, but they do want to make connection with us. And I feel like, again, it's like we often talk about the angels. We need to invite that energy in. We go out in nature, it's accessible to us. You don't have to have a special ability to connect with earth energy. And this time of year is such a great time to do it. Like I said, we just want to naturally go outside. We gravitate to going outdoors this time of year, whether we're in the country or we're in the city or we're at the beach or we're at a lake or in the mountains. There's something about magnetic about nature that pulls you out and wants you to be outside, and you want to be outside. It's like it nourishes the soul, I feel like, to be able to do that and have that interaction. So yeah, I think it's lovely that you've connected with this gnome, because it's just another example of how accessible these earth elementals are and how
Right.
they want to connect with us as well.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm realizing is all that's required is to be sincere in your desire to to direct things from the perspective of the highest good for all concerned, and a pure heart and an open heart, and coming from a place of love. It actually is amazing me how responsive they are.
Right.
It just is incredible. Yesterday I was sitting out in the sun, and I had a nice lounge chair, so I put it under. We have a lemon tree that's very prolific. It's just this big lemon tree that's so full of lemons we can never even eat them all. And then I was sitting in a place where I also was facing. We have two rose bushes, not the kind that are like for cut roses as much as like the big, bushy. They're taller than me, and they have like hundreds of roses. And I was looking and just understanding the significance of those two things. I was specifically looking at them and what kind of energy I was feeling from them, because it also is true that these different aspects of nature, different flowers, different stones, different trees, different birds have different purposes and offer to us different gifts. And I could see the gifts in both of those that I thought were really beautiful. And they're very different. The lemon tree is very different from, we have birch trees out front, which I also love very much, but they're very different energy. And I think that's, I'm amazed by all of it right now.
It really is a glorious time. That's so
Mhm.
aptly said. I think the energy it softens people too. There's something about people feel freer in the summertime. And I don't know if, as a child, I remember I was very excited to get out of school for the summer.
Mhm.
So there's kind of that joyous childlike energy that comes in too, I feel like, in June. And so I think for a lot of people, it really is just a happier time. People are generally statistically more content in the month of June than they
Interesting.
are other months. So I
Hmm.
find that interesting too. Yeah. So it's feeling connected. I mean, we're so connected, I feel like, to nature in this month,
Mhm.
and following along with those solar energies, everything kind of comes to a crescendo, and then it just begins, even though it might get hotter in some places as the year goes on after the summer solstice. The energy starts to wane a little bit, so it softens a little bit. It's not quite so much of this intensity that's coming in. That's really comes in with spring. Spring is a very high energy season. Everything is blooming and growing and expanding, and so June is almost like a time of softening from that summer
Mhm.
solstice on, um, with that whole fire element that is associated with summer. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a really interesting kind of transitional month, with a lot of different energy kind of coming in and going as well.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Did you want to talk about the archangel that we have for?
Sure, sure. So as
Okay.
I was thinking about the circle of love and light today, I chose a card before we started, and I'm using the Keepers of the Light Oracle. And I chose the card Archangel Michael, which is just a really interesting card. And again, this time of year is kind of known as a divine masculine time of year. The solar
Mm-hmm.
energy is generally, thought of as being masculine. And Michael himself, he is a fire. He's associated often with fire. And so I thought that was interesting too, that I chose this today because this particular card is about trusting heaven. And just reaffirming for us that we are safe, that we are protected, that we have angels all around us, and that we can surrender to that fire. Michael brings in the energy of a transmutational fire, much like Saint Germain, in just a different
Mm-hmm.
way. And
Right.
he has the ability and to give us the capacity to let go of the things that are no longer serving us. And so I thought that was really synchronous that I chose this today. We were going to be talking about summer and about June. But what's
Mm-hmm.
interesting about this particular card is it's reminding us that we're not only always surrounded by angels, but we have a team. We generally have a team of angels that are with us that can help us. And in whatever we're transitioning in our lives right now, because I think a lot of people are kind of in that busy time, we might be experiencing different transitions that may not always be easy, but he's actually with us. Michael especially is with us during the times of transition. And, we may feel alone in those times, but he's with us. He is one
Mm-hmm.
of the wonderful archangel energies that come in when we need that particular level of help. And so for this, I thought it was interesting that as we're enjoying all these beautiful energies coming in, this fire energy is also such a wonderful part of the association of Michael because it reminds us of that internal flame inside of us.
Right.
I kind of see it like an oil lamp. It's a flame that we can turn up or turn down depending on what we need within our soul.
Mm-hmm.
But we have that power too. And so he reminds us that not only are we surrounded by spiritual support, but that we too have that strength to be able to transmute whatever no longer serves us, that we can let that go and bring in the joy of summer, bring in the ease of summer. And for even ancient cultures, summer was time of work, but it was also time of ease because it wasn't quite harvest time yet.
Right. Yeah.
The seeds had already been planted. And so for a couple of months, they got to, kick their
Bask
heels
in
up.
the sun. Right.
Right, exactly.
Swim in the lakes.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't surprise me that this is also a popular time of year to take vacations and to do that very same thing. And again, that's following along with those natural energies, those natural rhythms.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was a beautiful card today with Michael because it really is about making that connection with what is already surrounding us versus that beautiful fire, which is like the divine spark within us, just
Right.
reminding us
Yeah.
of that beautiful spark, that little tiny flame that we can turn up or turn down, like a
Yeah.
lamp,
Right.
depending on how we need to use it. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful gift to us. And I think it's a wonderful reminder that we have that energy, we have that capacity.
Right. Yeah, and he is here to help us to open to our power, which I see as the fullness of our potential, realizing the
Right,
fullness of our potential. And as you said,
right,
to break through the patterns that are causing us to hold back. So if you
right.
go back to that theme of what is it that is wanting to bloom in you now? What is it that's wanting to be gifted to the world from you? Whether it's love, whether it's a message, a song, or however you want to, you feel in your heart, you feel the urge to share. This is a wonderful time to open yourself to it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, I thought I would also draw a card from the Work Your Light Oracle, uh, as a significator. In other words, to see if there's. I feel like we have a lot to the message already, but just to see if there's anything else for us here. Just shuffle a little bit. Okay. Interesting. It's called Share Your Voice, Come Out of the Cave, Persecution Expression. Have to see what that's about. Have to look up where this is. This is one thing about this one. It's not obvious where to find it. There we are, sharing your voice. 76. You're being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be a truly life-changing experience for you. As we shed, it's just such a profound one, I can't stop. There's just another little bit. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. And there was never a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice.
That's beautiful. That's
Hmm.
very empowering. Feels very
Yeah.
empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. That's
It is
interesting.
interesting. It has this image of the cave, and it's true. We all, I think, to one degree or another, we've been hiding out, just waiting for when the time is right for us to come out of the cave, and this is it.
Right. That's interesting too, because Archangel Michael's sword is often referred to as the sword of truth because it cuts through the illusion. And if we want to be our authentic self, we have to get to what is our truth. And
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
beautiful reminder to,
Hmm.
yeah, to let go of the fear, that we might feel in being our authentic self and speaking our truth and expressing from our authentic voice.
Hmm.
That's a beautiful reminder. I love those
Yeah.
cards.
And yeah. Yeah. And most of us, in somewhere in our soul's long history, have been persecuted. I think
Right.
there are a lot of women who tend to come here, and men are probably no different uh, in terms of having been persecuted. Women seem to have a special kind of a special place for the persecutors, and we're still actually it's playing out pretty clearly right now in society that women um, still have a need to emerge more clearly.
That's true. And I think what the wonderful thing that's come out of that is there's more exposure of it. We're exposing
Hmm.
all of that shadow and darkness to the light, and women are speaking out. They are speaking their truth and fighting for their rights. So I think that's a beautiful thing too. And that we're able to do that. We're in a time where we're able to do that with a little less fear than maybe in previous times.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. So that's beautiful. Lula says, wow, I got the exact same message in my meditations and connecting with my soul family and ancestors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Synchronicity. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it all makes sense. I think that's one of the things I love in the circle, that we have an opportunity to go into these very specific things about the experience of now, this now time. Because it's going to be a different now time pretty soon. And of course, now
Right.
we just,
Right.
I think we had a full moon yesterday. So
Mhm.
there is also that, there are so many cycles happening. And it shows I think another thing George was suggesting to me is that we are beings of the cosmos. And then the elementals are beings of the cosmos. And so when we're going through these different cycles and different things are emerging from within us, it's a cosmic play. It's like we're on earth, we're playing our roles in a cosmic play.
Right. Right.
It's just pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's profound when you really think about it. Just, it's already profound to think that we're multidimensional beings as it is, but to know that we can have these interactions too with these earth elementals is a wonderful extra support, that maybe some of us aren't aware of.
Yeah. I'm just reading more about the things George said. He said the connectedness of life is playing out on this stage we call planet Earth. It's an integral part of a cosmic evolutionary play. All of us, and I'd forgotten this part too. All of us have a message to share, a gift to offer the world. Each of us has the potential of being an open vessel for God's love to flow into the awareness of humanity.
That's lovely. And that's almost exactly what you read from the tarot card reading, the line you said
Yeah,
before.
I know it's
That's beautiful. I love that.
I had to write all of this down. I didn't want to forget it because I was so surprising. It was just right when I woke up this morning that all of this started happening, and really was beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah,
I think that's so true. Yeah.
yeah. And it's wonderful too to have validation. It's kind of like George is saying the same thing the oracle's saying. You know? Yeah, George is pretty wonderful. I'm grateful.
He's very poetic. I love the way he expresses. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he is. It amazed me. And there was I had in parentheses something just as a note to me mostly, but it says God was communicating God's glory to me and through me to the world. So that's, I guess, Gretchen and I were talking about earlier also how we are co-creating with the elemental realms we're not actually in a different way, I should say, than we're co-creating with the angels, because it is through our actual experiences, through our thoughts and our feelings, that things happen on planet Earth. And I think George is saying his role is having the opportunity to help to bring that out, to if we can be communicating God's glory, then we're supporting the best in the elemental realm rather than tainting these elemental beings with our negativity and hostility towards one another, which they don't understand. It's kind of like, what
Right.
is this?
Yeah, I find that interactions with them, it's very joyful. The
Yeah.
energy is very joyful and a much higher vibration. Even though Earth energy is a low, steady vibration, they live kind of in these different vibrations, depending on whatever their tasks are, whatever their job is. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know that, helping us align with that, it really just helps us in this Earth dimension, so it's good to connect with them because we're humans having a human experience on Earth. We're not going to be able to change that. That's part of the experience. So they're always there to help us. And so I love that we can have this connection with them. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It's especially active this time of year, I feel. And
Yeah.
that might be just because people are outdoors generally more this time of year too, or we're
Yeah,
more
and it's a time when we're intended to
right.
to be
Exactly.
giving voice to our spirits.
Right.
If for anyone, if if you haven't connected with the elementals before, I think it's really just a function. To me, I've read different things, like you have to have something specific in mind and you have to say, I want to see a fairy or whatever. The way I approach it, and you can tell people too how you approach it, Gretchen. The way I approach it is I'm open to the experience of connectedness, whatever it is. I'll have an intention, like I want to connect with this beautiful lemon tree and sense the gifts that it is bringing to the world, or whatever it is. I have an intention, but I am completely open with how it's going to play out. I'm not asking, I want to see a fairy, or I'm not asking for anything specific. I'm just asking for to be open to what is emerging, wants to emerge.
Right. I think I have a very similar approach. I generally go out in nature and, just ground myself and kind of center and open my inner senses. And I just allow whatever wants to interact with me at that time. I don't feel like I need to, like you said, I don't need to say, well, I need to see a fairy or I'm going
Right.
to I don't need to do that necessarily. It's more I just kind of open myself to whatever nature would like to tell me at
Right.
that point. So I
Right.
kind of listen to the voice of nature, and that could be the wind in the trees, that could be bird
Mhm.
song. It could be we live on a cattle farm. It could be a cow mooing in the distance. you know, it could be a myriad of different things. And sometimes it's the microcosm. Sometimes I'll notice just a little ant moving along the ground and I'll kind of follow it with my eyes and say, oh, what's it doing? And
Mhm.
there's this whole amazing world, not only above our heads, but beneath our feet as well. And
Mhm.
so when we open to that, sometimes I can look at the microcosm of this little tiny world beneath my feet and get profound insight. I'll watch bees going from flower to flower. They teach me a lot about determination and steadfastness and
Mhm.
following through with work. And there's just lots of different lessons we can learn if we open to it. And so I feel like it to me, it's just I open myself to it as well. I open my heart and my mind and just allow that whatever energy wants to connect with me to connect with me in that way. And I'm just always
Right.
grateful. I don't need to put any restraints on it or restrictions or
Mhm.
rules. There's no
Right.
rule essentially other than just being open-minded and open-hearted.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's an invitation for all of us, and there's so much glory out there to perceive right now. So
Right. Yeah, such a beautiful time of year.
yeah. So today Gretchen is going to lead us in a meditation. So are you ready?
I am. I think I would like to work with Archangel Michael today. So yeah, so I just invite if it feels comfortable for everyone just to take a nice deep breath with me and close your eyes. Just find a spot that where you're comfortable and just taking in some nice deep breaths and just relaxing into this present moment and just feeling how good it is just to take this pause, just to connect and tune in a different way. I just invite everyone just to think about any energy that you may have left somewhere else and just call that gently back to you now. We leave our energy often in our busy day with other people and places and situations. And this is a good time just to call all that energy back to you, just so you're feeling whole and complete in this present moment. You can also gently invite any energy that is not yours just to leave you now with your breath, just sending it back to its owners. Like we want all of our energy back. Those people and places deserve all their energy back as well. And just so that we can feel whole and grounded in this moment. And as we continue to breathe together, just invite you to begin to just focus on the center of yourself, just in your heart center, your heart chakra. I invite you just to see a beautiful light there, whatever color you may witness it, just witnessing this beautiful light that's coming out from the center of you, the center of your heart. Just connecting with that beautiful light. And like Jane always invites us to see the sparkles, I too like to see that kind of sparkling light, just seeing it effervescent and beautiful and glowing coming out from the center of us. Just noticing how beautiful that light is too, that is always there for us, like a small fire burning in our heart center. Just part of that divine spark that we each carry. Just how beautiful that light is coming out from your heart center. Mm. Now go ahead and allow that light just to expand out, just to fill all of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers and toes, just filling your entire body with that beautiful light that's emanating out from your heart center. Allowing it to sparkle and fill all the cells of your body, going into all the little shadowy crevices of yourself, just filling it with that beautiful light. Mm. Now I'd like to invite in Archangel Michael. And however you may perceive him, you may see an image of Archangel Michael coming in. You may see colors. Often Michael is associated with the color of blue, a bright blue. You may witness it as an effervescent light as well. Maybe it's a beautiful ray of light coming into your body. Or maybe you're seeing images of Michael, or maybe you're hearing his voice. Just invite him in whichever way feels good for you, so that you are welcoming in his presence. And I invite you to connect with this energy of Michael in whichever way it feels best for you. You may want to find a place where you can imagine the two of you sitting down together, just like a gentle friend sitting next to you, just allowing his beautiful presence to be here with you. Now I invite you to imagine this little flame inside you, this beautiful light that is at the center of you. Just turn the volume up a little bit, turn that flame up a little bit. And you notice that Michael is connecting with you on a deeper level now as your flame gets a little larger. He's inviting us to see that flame within us, to see that beautiful flame within us and know that it's always available to us. It is our inner strength. It's the strength of the soul. It's the strength of the heart and soul connection. He's just gifting us with this reminder that we have the power and strength within us to find joy in our life, to clear away and burn away with his flame, this flame that we are connected with, all the things that no longer serve us, so that we can remove the obstacles moving forward in our life, so that we can remove all those things that are holding us back from being our authentic self, from expressing our true voice in life. And you feel his presence very strongly with you, showing you exactly how to transmute these things in this beautiful flame within us. And you might feel his energy cascading down all around you, this beautiful blue sparkling light, just wrapping you in this beautiful light, infusing you with the reminder of how strong you are, how beautiful this connection with your heart and your soul is, and how you can call upon it at any time that you have a need, or you can just connect with it daily. Doesn't have to have a specific reason behind it, other than just to deepen the connection with Archangel Michael. And just take a moment to just sit with that in silence, just feeling that beautiful light, feeling that flame burning within you, feeling the love and connection of Archangel Michael. And Jane, is there anything that you would like to add that you're experiencing right now?
Well, focusing a lot of things happen, of course. Um, but it feels when you were talking about spiritual strength that the importance of his role in helping us to build spiritual strength. And people often experience him offering them a sword of truth, which is interesting, a sword um, of their own power. Um, that it is with that power that we can confront the demons that are holding us down. And that's something, just having worked with people and myself for many years, recognizing the spiritual strength that people bring to their demons, to their challenges, to the fears and the anger and whatever it is that are holding them down. Um, just witnessing that spiritual strength is really beautiful, and that's what he's offering us, the strength that we have so that we can overcome and then emerge in our own truth and our own power. So yeah, that's really beautiful. It feels so beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agree. He often, I think the energy is like he believes more in us than we do
Right.
ourselves at times.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he's really helping us
Mhm.
understand just the depth of his trust in us, his belief in us as well, and
Mhm.
and our capability. So
Right.
that's a beautiful message and reminder.
Yeah.
And we each can visualize holding that sword of truth. That's a wonderful gift from Michael. We can call that, forth anytime we have need to see that sword of truth. We want to hold that sword of truth. We might want to see it as the spine within us, our backbone is his sword of truth.
Mhm.
It's a wonderful thing to call upon when we have a need for it.
Mhm.
But Michael also wants to remind us that we don't need to have any specific reason to call upon him. He's with us whenever we have need. We could
Yeah.
just make a connection with him like we are here. It doesn't have to be to work on something. It doesn't have to be for any specific reason other than to deepen that connection. So I
Mhm.
think that's beautiful too. It's an invitation to us to continue to work with him in this way, even if it's just to connect.
Mhm. Right. Right. And he is here at this particular time to support us in our awakening and in the awakening of humanity. So if he wants us to invite him to join
Right.
us because the angels, being exposed to the angels on a regular basis, it changes you. I don't think it can help but change you. The immense love, the immense support, the immense belief in us. And then of course all of the specific guidance that we can receive. It's
That's
uh
yeah.
it's life changing.
It's a really good thing to say too, because um, I think that's something we can all feel, we can all sense, how much it changes us too. So
Mhm.
that's just another beautiful gift that he is giving us.
Mhm. Right. Right, and to remember that there is no one who is more deserving than anyone else
Right.
of the attention of a being like Archangel Michael.
Absolutely.
And he thanks us for being here.
I feel that
That's
too.
yeah.
I
And
feel
I'm
that.
so grateful too.
I am too. So we want to give our thanks to Archangel Michael now, just for being here, for being this presence in our lives, for reminding us of our inner strength, for gifting us with this sword of truth, this sword that we can call upon anytime we have need. And really just for his presence and willingness to be with us. It's just a beautiful gift. And we thank Archangel Michael for that beautiful presence and for this wonderful light that he is giving us today, too. You may see it as that blue light. It might be a different color for you, but just know that that is a sign of his presence in our
Mhm.
lives
Yeah.
and something that we can easily call upon quickly. We don't have to do anything formal to connect with him in that way.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to stand on your head or anything.
Right.
It's really it
Right.
is, I think, much like the connecting with the elemental realms that you just need pure intent and
Right.
love.
Absolutely. And so I guess we'll come back now. So I
Mhm.
just invite everyone to recall this experience, hold this experience dear to you, because this is another experience you're having that you can have over and over and over again, and you can come back to this at any time. And so I just invite everyone to take in a nice deep breath and just feel that energy, that oxygen moving in and out of your body, just bringing your awareness more to the present moment. You may want to shift around a little bit depending on how deep you went in the meditation. You want to rub your hands together, and whenever it feels right, just to go ahead and open your eyes whenever you feel ready.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm still a little out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost I don't want to it's overwhelming is not the right word. I think it bowls me over with the generosity of all of the beings that want to support us and help us. It's profound, and it's staggering at times to know that there are so many that want to help and support us, and it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful experience every time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the purpose of the circle, is to help us to connect with these resources that are available to us, that we can also, that inspires us for the week ahead. Lula says, beautiful meditation, Gretchen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lula.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us. Yeah. And that is really, that brings us to this time where I get out the planet, where we can recognize that when we vibrate love, we are supporting the whole planet. And it's interesting looking back kind of at what George was saying, that we're, in a larger sense, I think it goes beyond just planet Earth when we're emanating love to the world and allowing love to become a more powerful force. So
Yeah.
so this is the time, if you know someone who needs love, who needs healing, can just send some of that love to them. Just flowing freely through us. It's not like we're going to use it up at all by sending it off. It's just flowing through us. Places in the world that need love, just to your community. I think I always want to support my local community. Just feels really good.
It does. It does.
Feels complete to me.
Yeah,
I just
feel like
can't
I'm
think
in
of
a kind of
anything else to
soft,
say.
right? I'm in this like soft, contented place. It's
Right.
just lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you are here and open to this, you are a gift to the world. I think we can take that in too and realize that this is meaningful. I think sometimes I think, well, the circle of love and light, people probably think it's just this, but it's everything. Love is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really is. And it's good to have this reminder every week too of that.
Yes. Yes. I always feel um, like I'm uplifted by it.
I always feel very expanded. It kind of
Mm-hmm.
helps pull me out of out of the microcosm of my week where I'll, get
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the little minutia of all these details, but it
Mm-hmm.
really does help me expand out and just perceive a bigger picture, which is
Mm-hmm.
good. We need to do that more often, because we
Yeah.
get too hyper focused on all the little tiny details. It can be,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
so
and that
much
actually makes
out
sense
here.
with the idea of Sunday, of Sunday
Yeah.
being the day of rest, or it's an opportunity just to clear your clear your head. It really serves that purpose well too. So thank you everyone for being with us.
Yes. Thank you.
Gretchen, would you like to share anything about what you're up to these days and how people can connect with you?
Sure. Actually, yeah, I'm excited. I just launched a new coaching program that is for ancestral healing. I'm working with clients on healing bloodlines and ancestral wounds, behaviors, traumas, and things that they've inherited through their bloodlines. So it's a really exciting new program. I just launched it this weekend, and you can find more about it on my coaching page on spiraljourney.net. That's how you can identify or find me. It's where I have most of my the most comprehensive list of all of my services that I offer. And yeah, you can also connect with me here on Facebook at Gretchen Comer or Spiral Journey Holistic Life Services. And I'd love to reach out and connect with people.
Thank you, Gretchen. And that
Thank you.
is so important, I think, looking at whenever we have an opportunity to let go of anything that is not true to who we are, which ancestral, that kind of ancestral lineage is part of that. That's how we bring in more of ourselves and we become more of ourselves. So it's very important. Babs says, thank you so much, ladies. I love you. And we love you too. For Awakenings Institute, I thought I'd mention we have a free resource kit for light workers, spiritual healers, way showers, and caring people. It has a number of different things, an excerpt from our book, The Loving Power of Your Soul, a healing, a very simple healing. We call it the Happy Tap with EFT healing process and more. And you can find that at tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit. We also have our ebook, The Solution, Make a Difference and Change the World with the Power of Love. And you can find that it's just free, something to receive and to share with people who might not understand the power of love, which is quite amazing. And that's tinyurl.com/444, and that's the number 4 3 times -solution. So that's it. And you can find out more about the circle at circleofloveandlight.org. If you want to support the circle, which we really appreciate, you can follow our page on Facebook. It's facebook.com/awakeningscircle. You can share the video for today or anytime with your friends. It's always there during the week. In fact, they continue to be there. And you can invite friends to join you in the circle and share. So the final thing we do is send love and light forward to the week ahead. So all of that love that you have now, and send it forward. You can send it back to all the parts of yourself and your history. And just prepare yourself to have a wonderful week, a wonderful June week. And again,
Yes.
thank you for being here. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.